Welcome to the Royal Calcutta Turf Club for the Calcutta races, our season-ending doubleheader. Summer meeting 8-day Thursday, 3rd April 2025 race preview. The first race of the day is the Theogundi Handicap for horses weighed 21 to 46, grade 1 to 26 eligible, which have run at Kolkata, having completed the course since Wednesday 30th October 2024, have not won a race at any centre since that day, to be run over a distance of about 1200 meters. First up, we got three runners. Jamaica Jimmy B Bundle of Charm. This is from race number 166. They went over 1100 meters. Jamaica, who was racing in fourth spot, made some late movements towards the late stages of the race and eventually finished on third. Jimmy B, who was the strong favourite here, was in third spot despite the jockey's best effort, could only finish on third. And fourth, Bundle of Charm, who was racing in patches, eventually finished on fourth. The winner here was Chili Lady. 2 is Sabar and 8 is Oishika. This is from race number 158, where they went over 1400 meters. Sabar, who had a second placed effort in an earlier start, that was in race number 125. Over here, Sabar was on a start to finish mission, but until the last 200 meters where it started to slow down, eventually finished on fourth. And Oishika, who's had 3 starts in the season after switching base from Western India. Oishika was travelling in 9th spot, made some late gains on the wide outside, almost on the outer rail, and eventually finished on 5th. 5 is Amalfitana, who's had a second placed effort in the earlier part of the season, that was in race number 103. Since then, 4 starts and 4 unplaced effort. Last 2 starts, Amalfitana has been slow out of the blocks. Last turn took the turn in 5th spot, then started to weaken in the last 200 meters, finished on 8th. This was over 1400 meters in race number 146. Hermes has had a start after having a couple of starts during the monsoon season. Hermes, this was in race number 140 over 1600 meters. Took the turn in front as they entered the home straight, was under pressure, but then started to drop back. Finished on 4th of 5th runners. The winner here was Zambezi. Hermes, again, the Mount of Imran Chisi is drawn 4. Finally, we got 8, Jolafed. Jolafed has had a few placed effort in this season, and Jolafed last start went over 1100 meters. This was in race number 155, was in 4th spot, then started to flourish him, but the race was already sewn up by Fulcrum and Jolafed. Did the next best thing, finished on 2nd today, the amount of Vivekji, and Jolafed is drawn 5. 'We move on to the second race of the day, the Ayush Handicap for horses weighed 21 to 46, grade 1 to 26, eligible to be ridden by jockeys of Indian nationality, to be run over a distance of about 1400 meters. First up, we are looking at Dubai Star, who's had 4 starts in the season. Started the season with a 4th placed effort in a field of 7 over 1600 meters. Since then has had 3 starts. The start we are looking at is in race number 92, where Dubai Star was in 9th spot as they entered the home straight. Made up a few placing and eventually finished on 6th of 10 runners. The winner here was Matangi, who eventually had about 2.5 lengths to spare. Dubai Star is the mount of Nikhil Naidu and is drawn 2. 3 runners we are looking at. Kasha Laika. Kasha Laika has already had back-to-back wins over here. This is in race number 163. Kasha Laika was in 2nd spot. When asked for an effort, Kasha Laika ran out of gas, eventually finished on 5th. Trillionaire, who came down from Western India, and what a start this was for Trillionaire. Trillionaire practically made this a start to finish affair and never looked back. Eventually had 2 3/4 of a length to spare. Dubai King, who had a win in the earlier part of the season in race number 138. Over here, Dubai King started to flourish him, but could only manage 2nd spot. 3 Madras Check. The start we are looking at is from race number 139, where Madras Check won in a blanket finish. Madras Check was scheduled to start in race number 163, where it was the favourite but was withdrawn at the gate. And Madras Check today again the mount of Pete Trevor and is drawn 4. 4 is Italian Gold. Italian Gold had a win in race number 36 over 1400 meters. Then a 2nd placed effort in the next start when race number 50 over 1600 meters. Subsequently 2 starts, 2 unplaced effort, including this start, which is from race number 117, where Italian Gold was in 8th spot. Made some late gains on the wide outside, as you can see on the top of your screen in the orange cap, and eventually Italian Gold finished on 8th. 7 is Bandukwali. Bandukwali has been very consistent in the last 3 starts, has a second place effort in race number 111 over 1100 meters, then one in race number 138 again over 1100 meters. Last start went over 1400 meters, this was in race number 163, was in 4th spot, started to warm up into the late stages of the race and eventually finished on 6th, and the winner was Kashalika. We move on to the third race of the day, the network handicap for horses rated 61 to 86, rated 41 to 66, eligible to be ridden by jockeys of Indian nationality, to be run over a distance of about 1400 meters. We're looking at Abushan, Snowpiercer, Aeropoli. Abushan, who came down from Mysore, was perhaps the pick of the RCTC breeze of auction sales. Abushan over here started to really flourish home into the late stages of the race and just missed out by a short head and a neck, finished on 3rd. Snowpiercer, who came up with a run down the center and just missed out by a short head. And Aeropoli, who has been knocking on the doors, has had a few placed effort over here. Aeropoli was in front, but into the last 100 meters got caught home, eventually finished on 4th. 3 Brilliant Star for Australia, both from the yard of Naresh Naidu. Brilliant Star was fancied in this race, was in 5th spot, but did not really accelerate the way everybody would have liked Brilliant Star to do. Australia, on the other hand, has had a win on the part of the season, and this start Australia has really flew home and eventually got into 3rd spot, 3rd of 7 behind 1000 words. 7 All-Time Legend. All-Time Legend has had a few starts in the season after having a win in race number 80, has placed in a couple of races over here. All-Time Legend was in 2nd spot, was racing prominently, but into the dying stages of the race just missed out on the place, finished on 4th of 11 runners. The winner was K-Star. We move on to the 4th race of the day, the Bangalore Tough Club Cup for horses rated 81 and above, rated 61 to 86, eligible to be run over a distance of about 1400 meters. We are looking at 3 runners. This is from race number 164. Global Influence was definitely an eye catcher, where Global Influence was mostly in 4th spot, then started to flourish home, eventually got into 2nd spot. We had Chopin was racing in 3rd spot, then dropped back into the dying stages of the race and eventually finished on 4th. King's Retreat, who has been knocking on the doors, has had a few placed effort in the season, and over here King's Retreat was a little flat-footed into the last 200 meters, finished on last of 5. The winner was Vincent Van Gogh. 4 is 1000 Words. 1000 Words has been in red-hot form so far in the season. Last 3 starts has had a 2nd placed effort and back-to-back wins for 1000 Words. Last time carried 61 kilos to a start-to-finish victory, which is definitely a credible effort by 1000 Words, who's by Arabian Gulf out of Ebanskia. 5 is Supreme Grandeur. Supreme Grandeur had a start. This was in race number 122, where Supreme Grandeur was racing in 5th spot, started to really race home into the last 200 meters, but just missed out the place money, finished on 4th of 8. The winner was Vincent Van Gogh. Supreme Grandeur today, the Mount of Pete Trevor, is drawn 8. 6 is Liban. Liban has been in red-hot form, has got 4 wins in the season, and last 2 starts Liban has not really let down, finished on 3rd in the penultimate start, and over here, this was in race number 141, Liban was in 2nd spot, fought tooth and nail with Sir Baffert and just missed out by a neck. Liban today, the Mount of Ankush, who claims 4 kilos off. Finally, we got 7 Stormy Ocean and 9 Flying Scotsman. Stormy Ocean, what a run this was from Stormy Ocean. Really stormed home to victory on the wide outside and got the race in the photo finish. And Flying Scotsman, who ran a credible race in a penultimate start, where Flying Scotsman came from 12th spot to finish on 4th. Over here, Flying Scotsman raced prominently but dropped back into the dying stages, finished on 5th of 10 runners. 8 is Raffaello. Raffaello has been knocking on doors, has been picking up wins as he likes. Won in race number 63, finished on 2nd in an earlier start in race number 51. And this start, Rafaelo was in 4th spot. This is from race number 152. Rafaelo then started to really accelerate into the last 200 meters and staved off all and sundry. Eventually had a length to spare. We move on to the 5th race of the afternoon, the Andropov handicap for horses rates 41 to 66, rated 21 to 46, eligible to be ridden by jockeys of Indian nationality, to be run over a distance of about 1600 meters. First runner we are looking at is Good Deeds, who's got 4 wins on the trot. That was over 2000 meters in race number 79, 2400 meters in race number 108, again over 2400 meters in race number 119, and last start over 2000 meters. This was in race number 142, where Good Deeds got into a ding-dong battle with Snowpiercer and eventually prevailed by a short head, thus completing the 4th victory for Good Deeds of the season. 3 is Champagne Supernova. Champagne Supernova was a winner in an earlier start. That was in race number 55 over 2000 meters. Then finished on 7th in the Derby. Last start was a little slow out of the blocks, was in 4th spot as the horses turned for home, then made up a placing and eventually finished on 3rd of 4 runners. The winner here was No Mitzi. 4 Asagiri, 6 Felix. Asagiri has already picked up a couple of wins in the season. In race number 86, got the measure of Amalfitana over 1200 meters. Race number 145 over 1400 meters got the measure of Kasha. Last start, Asagiri was the favorite, was in 6th spot as they entered the home straight, made up a couple of placing and eventually finished on 4th. Felix, who was in 9th spot, dropped back a place and eventually finished on 10th of 12 runners. The winner here was Matangi. 5 is No Worry, No Worry. Another very genuine type horse, has had a couple of wins in this season and has not been off the top 3 in any of his starts. Last start was in race number 153, where No Worry made this a start to finish affair and staved off all and sundry. Eventually got the race by neck and neck to his Jazara, who finished on 2nd. No Worry again the mount of Imran Chisti. 7 is Tusaw. Tusaw has had a win in race number 130. Last start, Tusaw was in 2nd spot when asked for an effort, did not really accelerate, and it was found after the race that Tusaw was trotting lame. Tusaw the mount of Arbhabab and is drawn 5. Eight is Zambezi. Zambezi, who's had 3 wins in the season. In race number 100, finished on 1st over 1400 meters, then was up to 1600 meters in race number 140, won that race, then finished on a 4th in race number 146. Last start, Zambezi was in 5th spot, then really flew home, eventually got the race by neck, beat Fortune Warrior close home. This was over 1600 meters. By the book, knocked on the doors in the last 2 starts, then finished on 3rd in race number 112, then race number 139, finished on 3rd in a very close finish, and last start by the book was not to be denied, was on a start to finish mission and eventually won in a very close finish by a long neck and a short neck, beating Super Rakiga in 2nd. The mount of Arul JH is by the book. Final race of the day, the 6th race of the day, the Succeeding Star handicap for horses rated 1 to 26 to be run over a distance of about 1600 meters. First up, we are looking at Bound to be Spoiled, who's had 3 starts. Last 2 starts, Bound to be Spoiled has been a little unlucky. Both starts were over 1600 meters, met one better. In race number 137, finished on 2nd to MSG Fantasy. Last start, Bound to be Spoiled was racing in 3rd spot, then came up and eventually finished on 2nd to Cristaldo. Two is I Smell the Danger. I Smell the Danger after finishing on in the money in the last 2 starts, and then this start, I Smell the Danger was in 3rd spot. This is from race number 163, where I Smell the Danger went over 1400 meters and did not really accelerate. If anything, dropped back, eventually finished on 6th of 9 runners. The winner here was Trillionaire. I Smell the Danger. Today the mount of A Prakash is drawn 3. We're looking at a couple of runners. Just Dash, Tiger Blood. This is from race number 149 over 1400 meters. Just Dash, who was in 6th spot, stayed on in 6th, and Tiger Blood, who was racing in 5th spot, made up a placing and eventually finished on 4th. And after the race, it was found that Tiger Blood was trotting lame, and Tiger Blood is the mount of Vinay Jaswal, and Just Dash to be ridden by Arul JH. For his Dancing Queen, Dancing Queen has had a few starts where Dancing Queen finished on 2nd and 3rd. In race number 35, finished on 2nd. Race number 131 finished on 3rd. Race number 149 finished on 2nd. Last start went over 1100 meters, was in 6th spot, and made up a placing and eventually finished on 5th. Behind Chili Lady, the Dancing Queen at the mount of Suraj Naridu today. 5 City of Joy, 7 Kindred Spirit. City of Joy, who's had 3 starts and has not placed in any of them. City of Joy over here was racing in 6th spot. This from race number 168, where City of Joy eventually dropped back and finished on 2nd last of 8 runners. Kindred Spirit, who has had a few starts in the season, and over here Kindred Spirit, after racing mostly in 5th spot, dropped back when asked for an effort, eventually finished on 6th of 8 runners. The winner was UV. 6 is Maiden Heaven. Maiden Heaven, last 4 starts has been 4th in race number 54, 5th in race number 100 where it was the favourite, 4th in race number 137 over 1600 meters, last start over 1400 meters. This is in race number 167, was in 4th spot, then took charge for a while, but there was a late surge by Tenderheart, and Maiden Heaven did the next best thing, finished on 2nd, the mount of Imran Chisti. So that's the lineup for the day. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Good luck and see you at the races.